Hey, what's good, barbecue family? It's your boy Joe Meal here, back with Kettle BBQ, and today we're gonna bring a little something out special for this Memorial Day. I'm thinking about getting some of this pork candy going, some of these pork belly bites, do a little something different, put a little sweet on the tongue with a little heat on the back end. Check this out. Okay, cut the music and the burk begins right here. You see I got a Swift pork belly here that I got on sale at Costco. I had an extra $10 off. This whole thing is about 13 pounds, so not too bad of a price overall. What I'm gonna be doing for today's video is we're gonna be getting us some nice cube pieces of pork belly. I haven't done this in a while. Got some company over. I think this will be fun for us to hang out and enjoy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this thing into thirds, and I will put my other two pieces up and freeze them. And then we can cut some cubes out of there and then pretty much be good. So first things first, let me get this out the package, quick rinse down, and let me get it broke down. There we go, nothing too crazy. Broke it up into 3 pieces, or pretty much they're roughly uniform. Yeah. So obviously that one on the bottom looks to be slightly wider, right? Barely on both sides, nice and fatty. And I definitely think this end piece right here is probably the smallest. I don't need a ton for all the food that I've been cooking this weekend, so I'm probably going to use this end piece. It's also nice and fatty, which I think will be pretty good for cutting out these nice big chunks. Or should I go with maybe this one, and it's nice and uniform. I figured that these chunks are going to be about 1 by 1, so something like that. So maybe 3 across, 9 versus over here. I'd almost be tight on it. I'm going to use this middle one, and then we'll put those other 2 up. And this is what we are down with to play with. Like I said, I want about 1 inch by 1 inch squares. They'll be a little big. Keep in mind, I want these to be pretty big, so I'm thinking I can get about rows of 3 going across. Maybe, let's see, 3, 6, 9. We'll get 12 of them out of here. That's what I'll plan out. I want them a little bit bigger in the beginning. You know they're going to shrink down as they start to cook. We're going to break these into individual squares. I'm going to get these babies seasoned, so we're able to get a little bit of seasoning all the way around, get them on a wire rack, and then we're going to get them out there on the old Weber grill. I got a little bit of harder charcoal fired up. Get a great smoke on these babies before we bring them back in. Toss them around, give them a little bit of love. They're going to be good. Hold up. Let's chop them up. Alright, so once I cut one off, I went ahead and used the other one to kind of be my guide to make sure I'm getting about the same width. Obviously, I'm going to go across and make my squares. So we got 3 blocks, and look at that. I got me an extra daddy. So I'll make some small ones out of here, some nice little chunks, but there'll be some that'll get done a little faster, some smaller chunks to mix in. Other than that, you can see this bacon. I didn't give you really much of a shot around. You can really see the side edges look like bacon when you put it all together. And it's definitely a lot of fat. It's going to encase and make us some beautiful pieces of meat. Let me finish chopping these up, and I'll show you the seasoning we're going to be using for the day. Okay, no right or wrong way to do these. I started these out, and they were pretty much in chunks about that wide, roughly. And I went ahead and gave them a cut in half so they wouldn't be so huge. I got these nice little pretty ones here that I'll be able to kind of get a nice bit of surface area all the way around. I'm leaving all fat on. We'll be able to get them good rotation while we're working on here. So I'm gonna kind of just get them laid out here a little more on the sides where the majority of the surface area is. Make it easy to kind of catch this first layer of seasoning. Pardon my reach. And then what I'm gonna be doing is, once I do both of these sides flipped, I can easily get the top and the bottoms with the leftover more or less in here, and we'll let them hang out. I am not using a binder. If you want to, feel free to get you a little bit of mustard, I guess, or whatever. But I'm going straight up. All right, pepper was starting to get to the back of my throat. We're gonna season these babies up. Today I got a brand new rub that I'm trying out. A little brown sugar and chipotle, this sweet heat from Kinder's. I think this would be a good one. Always enjoy their rubs. I think the color and that little bit of heat will complement it well. Then I'm gonna bring in some Toledo barbecue sauce from Gerties to really set this thing off over the top. But let's get us a clean seasoning over the top. First layer of seasoning, give them a quick pat and flip. Side two, let's get another pat, and now we're gonna start the rub around factor with all of that stuff that's left around on the tops and the bottoms. Season to perfection. Let's put the top on. These gonna hang out for a good 30, 20 minutes before they're going on. I'll grab my rack and I'll meet you at the pit. And team, I just want to jump in here real quick and let you know I appreciate you watching this video. If you haven't done it, go to the bottom right corner, make sure you subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on the channel that you might have missed, and find me on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. Now let's get back to this candy. There we go. On my rack. Got a couple extra ones that I'll probably put off to the side, but these all fit on the rack pretty nicely. Let's get them on the pit. I'm sitting at about a little over 300. Rocking some of that harder charcoal. Let's get to work. And here we are. Let me hurry up and close up as I see my coals have caught up, but we're looking pretty. I'm gonna let them sit in here. I'll come back in about a half hour, give them about a 180 turn, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's take a peek. It's been a little over a half hour. Ooh. I had to slide some of the extra pieces I had along that side so they're not falling in the fire. I actually set them up like that. They're getting a good looking amount of color already. I think I'm gonna go ahead and potentially give them a little flip. I thought I was gonna maybe spritz, and I was debating whether I wanted to go with just giving some apple juice or some apple cider vinegar cut with water 50-50, which is normally what I roll with. That's what I was leaning towards, but I feel like they got a good amount of juice coming out of them. This is bacon. But I do want to get a good smoke on them here, and I want to make sure that I keep it even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a 180 turn with this hole. That's one reason why I like having them on this separate rack. I'm going to kick this rack and go ahead and flip them all the way around from the fire. I'll leave those over there on the corners and everything the way pretty much they are. And I'm going to wait a little bit before I flip. Maybe come back in another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll kind of go at it from there. All set, flipped around 180. You can really see that color coming out now that you can kind of see the other side. That one back there I did flip over, but they looking pretty good. 180. Now you guys are close to the fire. I'll be back here a little bit closer, maybe a good 20 minutes, and then I'm thinking that we'll be about ready to maybe get a flip. Okay, we are back over here, running nice and hot, and we are back. It's almost about an hour. I was a little bit late flipping my timer on. I'm about to get these their first flip. Remember we rotated it, and I decided not to give it a flip. I want to give it a flip, make sure we get some even color before, and everybody gets some good smoke before we wrap these things up. I don't want to get in there too close just yet. One, it's hot over here on my hand, and two, there we go. I don't want my phone to overheat, so let me knock these out and I'll let you see what everybody look like flipped. Okay, I got them all flipped over, and you can see these sides are a little bit lighter. I don't need to get them super dark or anything like that, but we want to get some good amount of color on there. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see where I was at. And that's good. Around 165-ish, which is somewhere around where I expected. I'd probably be getting ready to pull them up off of here. Another one at 165. They usually, now that they flipped over, this side will quickly get some color. We'll come back out of here and then we'll grab our little SpongeBob's. Okay, it has nearly been an hour and a half. These are pretty decent in color. I don't want to overdo them. They were roughly at 165, a lot of the bigger ones. Before, last time we was in here, that was roughly 15 minutes ago or so. So I figured most of them is probably hitting around 170-ish, 175, something like that, somewhere in that range. We still got more things to do. They're going to be sweating out. We'll get them eventually. Obviously, you could eat them here, but they would be pretty fatty. But obviously, pork would be ready to go at this temperature. But next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna yank these babies out and toss them right here in this old aluminum pan. Back in the house, we got these babies. I pretty much want to arrange them all sitting up because they've already been on both of their sides, the more meat side. So we're gonna let them stand up, just switch up the angle that they're gonna catch a little bit of smoke. Great smell. You can see a little bit of the crunchy bits, which we like. Basically, we're gonna hit them with just a little bit of some apple juice. I'm just gonna kind of get in the corner. Don't need a ton. Really don't want to pour on top of them. I'm just adding in a little bit of moisture to kind of get the steaming started as we kind of more or less braise these down. So you can see we don't even really got a whole floor. Just a little bit of apple juice in there. Ended up being maybe about half of this. Next, I'm gonna be coming with some of that Gerties BBQ sauce, like I said, from Toledo, Ohio. Nice and sweet. No trans fat, gluten, no preservatives, no artificial flavors. We like that. Definitely got a good flavor. Brown sugar. Nice sweet little rub here. This would be a nice little compliment. I just want to give it a nice drizzle right over the top. And we'll just start in this top corner. Boom. There we go. Decent amount. And then next, I got some local honey from my guy here in Arizona. That's actually some mesquite honey. Tastes great. We'll go ahead and get it a nice little drizzle over. And I'm going to just keep the lines going the same way. Start up in that same corner. And I'm going to come a little heavy with the honey because I do want it to caramelize in there and give it a nice little candy bit. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and let them braise like that. A little apple juice at the bottom. A little bit of that Gerties BBQ sauce. And then a little bit of this local honey here. Local mesquite honey. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And this is going back on the smoker just like you see it. Late night, AZ. Heart of charcoal on deck. We rolling a little over 300. Go ahead and pardon my view. You see we set up indirect. I might throw me one little lump on there just to make sure we burn it right along. But we got a good little heart of coal. Let's set those right off to the side there. And we're going to close this thing up quick fast. And I'll bring y'all back. I'll check on them roughly in about 30 to 45 minutes. Maybe give them a little shake. But they should be good to go. Alright. We are back. Holding in here at a strong 300. These babies have been on a little bit over an hour. I spared you the time of me getting a rotation in of the whole thing. They should have been to sweat down pretty much a good amount. These candy nuggets, definitely a little bit more juice in there than what we initially started with. I'm gonna bring these babies in. We're going to come and put them out here one more time glazed up and we're going to sweat them out. Thought I'd temp a few of these real quick. And I'm hitting where I want to be. Some of the lower ones is like around this 185 mark, which is actually good because I still got a little bit more time. I'm going to bring it back out here. And then I got plenty of them that's sitting at around 195-ish, which lets me know it's definitely where I want it to be. 200. Man, it's smelling good out here. Smooth and easy. 94. Alright, let's get them in. Okay, we back in the house. We got these babies sitting out here. And obviously, this is a nice concentrated mixture here. I mean, you got apple cider. You got apple juice. You're going to have a little bit of that Gerties BBQ sauce. You're going to have some honey. And you're going to have some of the fat and the seasoning that's squeezing up out of those beautiful pieces of pork belly down there. So definitely you can get them a mix around there to get wet if you choose to. I'm pretty much probably going to keep it as is. I do want to taste that liquid. Definitely I can taste a lot of fat in that area. A lot more oil versus a lot more of the flavor from the barbecue sauce and everything. So I've already done what I needed to do, and I want to keep the little bit of caramelization that I did get over the top. I'm going to be bringing these babies off. I still got my rack, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be coming right over the top with just a mixture of some of this Gerties I might add just a little bit more of this mesquite honey to get in there just to get a little glow. And I just got a nice little cup. I got some bamboo skewers here that I'll go ahead and put a few pieces on and either baste it on or just dip them on and then just keep going from there one way or another. Let me start to work through this batch. Alright, first I'll go ahead and start with some of this barbecue sauce. And I'm going to add in some of this mesquite honey just to give me a little bit more color and thin this out a little bit. That should do. And I'm going to mix this up good. Okay, so here go my plan. Got my rack back, wiped it off a little bit. I'm going to go down the long way. Put this to the side. With this skewer, boop, going this way. And I'll keep it at the bottom. I'm about to dunk it. Get it nice and covered. Drip off. And then what I'm going to do is slide the next one in. And I'm going to get probably about 3, maybe even 4. 3, we'll see how it looks like. 3 is at least what I'm thinking on this skewer. And I'll be right back. Woohoo! I'm at 3 right now. See if I can do this with the offhand. Bring you in there. Get him dunked. Let him drip. Think I'm gonna do one more. And dunk. Come on up out of there, nice and easy. That's the first one done with 4 on it. And I'm gonna let that sit right over here where if it drip off, it'll be fine. And then we're gonna make obviously a few more. Okay, now self-admittedly, I took longer on that than I needed to, but I was playing around, having fun with this. We got these little baby shish kebab already put together. I've made a mess that I'm gonna easily clean up. I did try to keep most of it on that aluminum foil, but you can see they're nice and glazed up. I'm going straight onto the grill. We still rolling in direct, harder charcoal on deck. I'll give them a little bit of time on each side, give them a flip, let this tack up a little bit, and then we're bringing them in. Here we go. Get them sticks away from the fire. Let's close this thing up. Opening over here. That way we can pull some of that smoke over indirect. Get it in this barbecue sauce here at the last bit. And we'll be ready to rock. Okay, we're a little over 15 minutes later. You see we dialed down to about 250-ish. Whoo, these babies is looking so candy and pretty. I'm just gonna give them a flip one time and give them a little bit longer, and we getting them up off of here. We bring you in close for that air side. Yes, yes. All right, after another 15 minutes or so, these babies are ready. And one thing I had contemplated before I actually put the sauce on is a good sear would have been one thing that could have been fun. But it's a beautiful smoke coming up off of here. We're gonna leave it nice and candy like you see it. There we go. Let's get them inside, throw them in the microwave for a hot second, and they'll be good to go. All right, it's been long enough. Let's get these babies out. Woo. Okay, let's get the quick walk around. I'm really mad because I kind of feel like I would have had fun searing them babies one time, getting that little extra flavor profile on there before I went ahead and started basting them. But here we go. Let's give this baby a taste. That Gerties sauce is amazing. This baby just cooked to perfection. I'll get a better view for you. Look at that. See that little pink down there? That'll get a little smoke. Oh, I'm going for another one. tell you right now, those pork belly bites, that pork candy came out phenomenal. The blend that came through with that seasoning, along with that harder charcoal, giving a nice kiss of smoke, and that good old-fashioned Gerties from Toledo, Ohio, let me tell you, flavor-wise, those was off the charts. Makes me actually wonder if those could be better than burnt ends. I could definitely gave them a little sear, but I ain't too mad at what we got. Big shout outs to my boys over there at Black Smoke Barbecue, my peoples over there at Harder Charcoal, and you for watching this video. I will catch you in a week. Until then, peace.